Everyone, welcome back to the workshop. It's fantastic to have you here. So in today's episode, we're going to be restoring and taking the rust and grime off this lovely worktop. So there are multiple different ways of doing this. I'm going to be doing it today with a wire wheel on this beautiful angle grinder and then sealing it with machine wax. So I put a couple of coats of this on and that should stop pretty much all of the rust. Right, so I'm going to be grinding it off with this wire wheel, as I said already, at about a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to be going in arced methods and arced swishes, I suppose you could say, like that. Okay, and then so I've got to make sure to get all the corners, all the nooks and crannies in. I'm going to be working more where there's deeper rust, because that'll be going into the surface, and working less where there's less rust. Yeah. Right, so just thought I'll stop halfway through. So I've done most of this side pretty much, and then I'm going to move on to this side. So I thought I'd show you just a bit of a before and afterwards, before and after. So this is the before. No, sorry, this is the before. As you can see, there's quite a lot of deep surface, deep rust and a good amount of surface rust. And then this is the afterwards. It's quite shiny. When I wipe my hand across it, not much comes out. As you can see, it's reflecting the light quite well. It's still got a little bit of work to do, but apart from that, it's pretty good. Right, I just thought I'd stop again and explain how you get the deep rust out. So a lot of this was surface rust, comes out really quickly, run along with the angle grinder, no problems about it. But in the middle here, I've sort of neglected it a bit. Sad to admit it, but I have. And it's harder to get off. As you can see, there's still a bit marks in here where it's deeper rust. So that's nothing to worry about. It comes off. Just a little bit more work. So whereas before we were 45-degree angle, swooping our body like this time we're going to go harsher angle. So instead of 45, we're going to go, what would that be, 80, about 80-degree angle. And then and then instead of going swooping, we're going to go in little circles, because that will really get into the metal, into the pores of the metal, and get that rust out. Cool, right, now we've finished grinding. I know on the camera it may look like there's still rust, but that's just the colour of the metal. So we finished grinding. It's time to put the angle grinder away and get out a dirty old rag to wipe this down. So the grinder's away. Now it's time to wipe it down. This is a stage that often people miss out. I think it's quite vital, because if you trap any moisture in between your metal and your wax, then it's just going to rust away the metal again. So I wipe it down, getting all the corners, and as you can see, it takes up a lot of dirt, a lot of grime as well, so it should give it a clean. This is a stage where you can spray it down with WD-40 or any de-rust agent. This should get all the deeper rust. It brings it up from the surface as well. Right, so the table's all wiped down. As you can see, it's all nice and shiny now. So we're going to keep the rag here because we need that to apply the wax. I'm using Axminster machine wax. You can use any other wax or oils or finishes you want. This I find works great for me. So I'm going to open it up. Yep, I'm going to open it up. And once it's open, I'm going to get a generous portion on my fingers. Some people use rags or something. In fact, I use my rag. So a generous portion on the rag, getting it all into every corner, every crevice, making sure none of the metal is without wax. So when you've done a bit, get more on your hand in circles or lines or whatever you feel like it. Just make sure the whole bit of this table is covered in wax, because that will stop it re-rusting again, turning out how it looked at the start. Right, so I've come over to this corner. Most of this half is done. I'm going to do this side, and then come back to this side with another coat. Yeah. So making sure it gets all in the divots, crevices, everywhere, and a bit around the corners and the sides, because you don't want them getting rusty either. So the angle grinder, the wire wheel I've used is quite a coarse one, because I had some really nasty rust on this table. But with just surface rust, you could use some a lighter wheel. And that's pretty much the table complete. If you want to take off the rust any other methods, you could. If it's just thin surface rust, you can always just use WD-40, make sure it's all the crevices, leave it for about 5-10 minutes, and then sand it off again. But that's about it. Yeah, so if you like this content, you can check out my other videos on my YouTube channel, or you can check out my Facebook page at Albert Hyde Blacksmith, or my website at alberthyde.com. So thank you for watching.